Welcome back to the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show, and of course my sidekick, Andrew Guitros.
Good morning.
And we showed some pictures. We have quite a number of pictures to show you. And we better get a couple of sponsors real quick. They make all this happen, you know.
Piggly Wiggly locations throughout South Louisiana. Go by for the sirloin in pork chops, $1.99 a pound. Fryer wings, $1.99 a pound right now. Go by all your locations in Opelousas, Church Point, Rain, Scott, Cecilia, St. Martinville. The pig knows best.
And then, of course, Kevin here in Opelousas also owns a store in Simsport, Louisiana,
as well.
And a nice store there.
Go by and get some of that good old meats. And how about one more sponsor while I'm at it? Let's hit LHC Group. All your home health care needs, LHC Group can help you if you're looking for the equipment in your home, those beds, those special chairs, the oxygen type equipment, the button you press to call for help. They've got all that. If you're looking for help in the house, from the nursing type help to the rehab type help, they can handle that as well. And they also have their extended care wings in most of the major hospitals around the area, like Opelousas General Health System right here in town, where you can go and you're not bad enough to need the full-blown doctor, but you're not quite good enough to go home yet. You can kind of sit in that intermediate area. They can help take care of you there. And how about this? We got some other things going on. The OC Fair starts this week, Thursday, that's tonight, September 29th, and goes all the way through Sunday. There's game, food, crafts, carnival rides. Family night is tonight from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. where you buy the bracelet for one price. Then they start at 10 o'clock in the morning on Saturday and 10 o'clock in the morning on Sunday. Saturday night, the band is One Trick Pony. Our own Matt LeBlanc is going to be playing. And if you want a delicious pork dinner Sunday from 10:30 a.m. to 1 p.m., $6 per dinner. It's very, very good. You can call Miss Kathy Abear at OC if you need more info.
That's correct. Or Keith Abear.
Or Keith Abear.
Okay, let's show that picture of the big fundraiser that
Miss Jamie Cormier that we had this past weekend over at Willie's in Washington. Look, the people that were lined up. And I'm going to show you that right here. Willie's Washington Campground. Of course, Mr. Willie and T. Mike always help out these great causes. I'm going to do the St. Hubert's thing in a couple of weeks as well. I want to thank them so much for all the help they did. And of course, One Trick Pony was there playing again. Matt and crew setting up. There's Matt. And while I walked around, I saw some of our friends, Mr. Ray Bello, of course, with Ray's Catering. I saw Mr. Tony Parity with Pizza Shack. Some of our sponsors that are on here from time to time. Ken's Thrifty Way, of course, with the pharmacy and all.
He's on every day. During the break, yes. Been with us since we started.
And Miss Jamie herself that we got to see, the lady who it's all about, she's 20 years old, going to school, and it's all about getting her surgery to help with curvature in her spine. And she just gave me a quick note to thank the DJ Ron Kedair, One Trick Pony, Mr. Rick Hessler, who did a bunch of balloons for the kids, all the people who came out, all her family members, of course, that helped run the booths and help collect the donations.
I'll tell you what, we've never had more people that were interested and sent us material than this particular fundraiser. They organized and had a death in their family the week before.
Her grandmother passed away the week before. And I saw Miss Bambi Palazzolo, who does a lot of work with autistic kids and around the Cerebral Palsy Clinic, and her aunt, Miss Lottie Beebe, who I think is running for the Bessie Board.
She is, and she lives right there in Breaux Bridge, Louisiana. Good morning to you.
And I saw Bob Sashry and his son were cooking. You know, they were cooking it was wild game cook-off. And I saw this gentleman was cooking some alligator. You talk about look good, man. But the auctioneers going on. Jamie's uncle, Brett Mesh, who we know does computer work for us. And
that's who lost his mother.
Quite a few other places around. I got a picture of chef owner Jason Hugay with the steamboat. And of course, I can talk about the steamboat while I'm at. Well, you see he's got Piggly Wiggly on his T-shirt.
He and Jody.
They're on the What's Cooking show here on KBCG, promoting products from
and I'm sure
Piggly
they work together.
Yeah, Steamboat Warehouse, get mom away from the smell of own cooking right there in beautiful historic Washington. Jason Hugay picks all the finest ingredients. As you can see, he's got a fine ingredient with a beautiful young lady.
Beautiful young lady.
The soft shell crabs from over at Sycamore Point that he always gets in season, the crawfish, all the types of seafoods that he gets, and then all his meats from Angus beef.
I like his steaks.
All the great food and adult libations and wine selection second to none. It's Steamboat Warehouse, and I got one more photo from there. I've got our own producer, Mr. Mark Rare, who was there.
I don't recognize him right there.
He got the sunglasses and cap. I didn't recognize him at first either. And he kind of looked at me and he got that little grin he's got. When he grinned at me, then I knew who it was. Good morning, Mark. Thank you for all the good work you do, making me and Bobby look like we're pros here. Then you took some pictures over at Copper Crown.
We went, Mr. Jim Bervin, who was the developer of the Evangeline Downs Hotel, comes down periodically, about every 5 or 6 weeks, and he had heard a lot about Copper Crown and had never visited, so Joe Fred and I went over, and on the left is Mr. Harold Foreman, the owner, and the guy back of the wheel there driving that big, beautiful facility, and then Mr. Jim, and then Joe Fred, and then we took a few pictures outside. We took a ride on a golf cart, and
beautiful facility.
Nothing but beauty, and he's got some great plans, getting ready to build a huge auction building so that he can hold a huge auction over here. Excellent. And that bring a lot of people into town. And of course, Mr. Jim says, let's work together and help my hotel business.
Right, exactly. And a picture over at
Evangeline Downs.
Now you went to the fairgrounds too, huh?
Yeah, Saturday afternoon we decided, Vicki and I went to the fairgrounds to watch the last day of the quarter horse season. There was a race there. The purse was $276,000. And the winner gets 60% of that. Running third was my friend, serves on the HBPA board. Can't think. Kenny Roberts. That was one of his horses. He's in the left right there. I think I got a better picture of him in a minute. That's him right there saddling up. He won 4 races, but he didn't win the big one. He ran third, though, which wasn't $27,000. Not a bad day. I think you're going to see another picture
I'm looking for him.
Okay, and I'm studying. You know, I don't even gamble, but he caught me looking. And
I got another one of him, but it's with on the other cameras, so it may take me a while to find him. We got this picture here.
Okay, that is last Saturday night. That's in the what's the Harrah's Hotel?
Harrah's Hotel.
Harrah's Hotel and Harrah's Casino, and we were in one of the little mall bars there, not a little bar, big bar, and they brew their own beer. So you had to drink what they had, and it was real good. And it's beautiful to sit outside this time of the year. Right. It's a beautiful place. If you're downtown, you don't have to go to Bourbon Street if you don't like that.
And then you went down here. We got pictures from all over the place. You went down to the Quarters Casino and Travel Plaza.
That's correct.
And visited with our own friend, Mr. Pat Willis over there. And of course, they got the remodeled casino and bar. They've got all the poker machines, $1,000 payouts. They got giveaways. They've got El Pico de Gallo Mexican restaurant with authentic Mexican food, 2-for-1 margaritas.
Good food, I might add.
Every day of the week from 3 to 9. They got the crispy, crunchy chicken inside, open 24/7. Go buy with good Chevron fuel.
And I thank Pat for being one of our new sponsors. He had been wanting for the past year or so, but we just didn't have the room. But he says he likes it.
Here we go with Mr. Jim.
Mr. Jim on the left, and then in the middle is Mr. Brent Stevens, who is the top dog in the company that owns Evangeline Downs.
Right.
And I can't think of the name of it, and I know it just as well. And the person on the right is the young man who comes often to visit the facility, Jonathan Swain. He's the man that actually manages this piece of property along with the Amelia. For those of you all in the Morgan City, Iberia Parish, they own the casino at Amelia, a nice boat casino there. And two nice young men. Of course, one missing was Trey Thibodeau. Didn't see Trey that night. I guess he was off. And here is Kenny Roberts right here. Yeah. A lot of quarter horse people know him very well. He's a very successful trainer. Lives in the Texas area, however, races at all 4 of the tracks that when they hold a quarter horse meet, which we're going to have a quarter horse meet starting probably towards the middle and end of October through the middle of December. So we'll have several days, and we're going to run at night again. This was last maybe Tuesday morning. Had lunch with Miss Kelly. I had breakfast with Megan that morning. So boy, I had my two daughters in one day. Beautiful. Thank y'all both for being so sweet and good. And here's a young lady in a business suit. I had to take her in New Orleans. Yes, sir. Riding to work on her scooter. And
this couple.
Here is a couple that we met, Bruce DeSalle and Bruce and his daughter Angèle. I apologize. It's so dark. We didn't have a camera with a flash. My camera, they still never install that flash on to mine, or I'll have to buy a new iPhone?
I think, does yours have a flash or not? I don't
No,
know.
it doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
The new one, yeah.
The new one has it.
October, you'll have to get the newest new one.
Anyhow, just give me a second with this picture, because there's a story here. I'm always talking about, people ask me, how do you get to meet all these people? I call it breaking the ice. I introduced myself, and he introduced himself and his daughter, Angèle. And Bruce says, where you from? I said, Opelousas. I said, where you from? He said, well, originally Bourdonville. I said, no, you don't recognize this little young lady right here, Miss Vicky? He says, that's not Boy and Miss Marilyn's daughter. I said, that's exactly who it is. And they were practically cousins by the time we left. Furthermore, I don't know how we got to talking about, well, I asked him what he does. He's a consultant. I said, you ever need any non-destructive testing performed? He said, yeah. In fact, he says, I use a company where the young man is originally from Grand Prairie. I said, you talking about Charles Brignac? He says, you know Charles? I said, I helped put him in business. He says, you kidding me? That's how small a world. We did all of this in 10 minutes time. And I was almost kin to him and thanked him very much. He's a consultant, so he just hired 2 men were working on the last job that he was the consultant on. So from Accurate NDE. Charles, keep up the good work, young man. People appreciate the good job performance that you and your team put together.
Let me squeeze another sponsor in. Washington State Bank, all your banking needs. Washington State Bank can help you with personal loans, commercial loans. They have 24/7 banking, whether you're personal or business, where you can get all your stuff online. You can do all your bank transfers. You can reconcile your bank statements all online. You can pay your bills online. Don't even have to show up nowadays. That whole thing about having to sit in the lobby or wait in a long line or trying to figure out when I can get off 10 minutes early to go by the bank. Don't worry about that kind of thing. Washington State Bank is online and with high security to take care of all your banking business with locations in Washington, Opelousas, Orneville, Leonville, and Palmetto.
I got one more little story about Mr. Bruce DeSalle, and it's kind of interesting. He says, Opelousas, he says, I attended T.H. Harris, and I lived with Mr. and Mrs. Dupre. He says, Mr. Dupre was a pecan buyer. He says, kind of to help pay for my little room rent, I would help them. He said, sow those sacks of pecans and handle all that weight.
You kidding me?
I said, well, then we met, then we just don't remember each other. And he says, y'all had Carol Weibel and Tommy Janson was renting the front of y'all's old cafe. They were engineers.
No kidding.
And he knew both of those. I mean, it's almost like I don't know, it made me feel so good.
How there's so many connections.
So many connections to Bruce and Angèle. Thank y'all for the time y'all spent with us.
Sunday, October the 9th is the Hunters for the Hungry food drive. It's being headed up this year by Opelousas Lighthouse Mission. It's been done for years. The collection sites are over at UL Cajun Field in Lafayette, Karen Crow Fire Station, Crowley Salvador Jewelry, Eunice at the Eunice Fire Station, Henderson at the Henderson Nina Fire Station, Youngsville at First Assembly of God, Opelousas at Nissan of Opelousas on I-49, and Jennings at Our Savior's Church. 948-8865 to talk to Johnny Carrier, or go to olmission.org/Hunters for the Hungry. Great calls. Johnny Carrier is a hard-working guy. I know they've dealt with a charity group out of Lafayette that handled this for quite a few years, but now Opelousas Lighthouse Mission has stepped forward. So if you got any kind of game, please bring it.
Blair Briggs called me to please make this announcement. I said, well, I did. In fact, this is our third time at least the third time we've made this announcement, because it's a very important. And of course, Blair and his daddy, Byron Briggs, Blair's an Opelousas City Councilman, by the way, and his daddy, they're big hunters, so I'm sure they can bring quite a bit along with all of their friends, the Pat Morrow group and all of that hunt a whole lot. Jerry Chamberlain and Jimmy Prados and all of our group at Winfield, Clean Out Chief.
I'm sure if you want to sneak some canned goods in and things like that too, I'm sure they won't turn that down.
Anything you can do will certainly be a big help.
KSLO, we'll see you on the other side at 3.
I have an announcement here too.
Go ahead.
And it's regarding, first of all, earlier this year, Lee Young and family had sent out a notice that if things didn't pick up, probably would have